Happy New Year, everyone! 2022 has officially started, and I thought there is no better time than kind of looking back at last year because a lot of things happened. We moved to Sweden. So on 1st of June, we officially moved to Sweden, and now we have been living here in Sweden for 7 months. So I thought it would be a good time to recap a little bit last year and tell you about the ups and downs of moving and living in Sweden. Before we start, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Julie and I'm originally from Germany. I live here in Sweden with my British partner and with my German-British daughter. She is 3 years old. So we kind of are a German-British family. And there's also a little Swedish baby on the way, due in 2 months. So let's start with January-February 2021. We had no idea that we would move to Sweden. So it was actually not planned to move to Sweden. It was not on our wish list to move to Sweden. In fact, we never really considered moving to Sweden. We wanted to move somewhere else. We used to live in London, UK, before we moved here, and we wanted to move somewhere else to another country, not only because of Brexit, but that definitely played a role. But yeah, Sweden was not on our radar. Not because it's not a beautiful country, more so because the native language is Swedish and we were focused more on English-speaking countries, although we also considered Germany, just because I'm from Germany. But yeah, just to give you a little background, we were looking to move somewhere else, but we had to really look into where jobs are available for my partner, and he works in visual effects production for films and computer games. So I would say the industry is quite small. You really have a few kind of countries or even like cities where jobs are available in that field. So Sweden was never an option. But then in March 2021, my partner successfully lined up a few interviews across the world. And it happened that there was also an interview in Sweden, in Stockholm particularly. So that was quite interesting. We never thought about it, but that's the first time we kind of thought about what if we're moving to Sweden. Long story short, he had a few interviews in Stockholm remotely, and then he got offered the job. That's actually when I started my proper research into Sweden, trying to find YouTube videos as well. And I couldn't find that many, to be honest. So that's another reason why I actually started here my YouTube channel, to give others a little idea of what it is like to move to Sweden and live in Sweden, because I couldn't find that many and I thought it was very interesting to see what it is like. So I'm really proud of my partner because he put a lot of effort into lining up interviews, and then we really had discussions about where do we want to move, because he also had job offers in Germany and in Canada. But yeah, we talked about what is really important to us, where do we want to go, what do we want in life as a family and individually. And again, long story short, as you can see, we decided for Sweden. I think you can never say in general if a country is great to live in or not, because it depends a lot on your personal preferences and where you are at in life, individually, but also maybe as a family. And I'm not talking about all the reasons why we moved to Sweden, because there are other videos I already made which explain a little bit more why we moved to Sweden. So let's just move on what happened after we decided to move to Sweden. So we kind of decided to move in June. That left us with 2 months of preparations. So we really had to organize a lot in 2 months. It's not a lot of time. And it was a stressful time for sure, especially also with a toddler, but obviously we managed. But things we had to think about is like we had to quit our rental property, any subscription we had to cancel. We had to organize a shipping company, which definitely was also one of the pain points of moving to Sweden. And I tell you why, the main reason was really Brexit. Brexit has brought so many negative things, to be honest, when you want to move. And the reason was that just no one knew really what the rules are around Brexit, and that caused a lot of trouble and delays and back and forth and trying to find the right documents. And then also there was a bit of a when do we actually move all our stuff? You know, we didn't have much. Most of the furniture actually stayed in there because we rented a flat with furniture. But there was definitely the kids' bed, you know, which we wanted to keep as long as possible, and also like bedding and stuff like that. So you have to think about that. And what we did at the end, we moved on the 1st of June. So the company picked up everything on the 1st of June, which was also the day we were flying to Sweden. So you can imagine how stressful that was. We ended up having more stuff and we couldn't really like ship everything. Plus we even forgot something behind a wardrobe we had, and we had to run to the post office to post it, which was not only expensive but also such a hassle because we wanted to leave for the airport. So yeah, that was quite an experience. I'm sure there are things I could have done differently to maybe make it smoother, but you know, it has been a long time I moved, and I kind of moved the first time abroad with a child as well. So you can just learn from it. If you have any question, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, we also had to kind of organize an accommodation here in Stockholm. So we tried actually with the help of our friends to get a rental property, but at the end it didn't work out. So the best option was to get an Airbnb. And I have to say that went very smooth. We were very happy with our Airbnb. The host was so accommodating. Thank you, Per. And we basically stayed there a month first, but then we extended it for another month because we did find a rental property we could move into, but only in a month's time. So here again, the Airbnb host was quite flexible in letting us stay another month. I think a positive about moving in summer was that a lot of Swedes are going to their holiday houses somewhere outside of the city, so their flat or house is empty and many Swedes will then Airbnb them. So we were quite lucky that we could just extend it and stay for a whole 2 months. Yeah, I tried to actually get as many things done before we moved to Sweden, a lot about bureaucracy as well. But there's not so much you can do actually. My partner was applying for residency through his work, and they kind of managed to do the same for us, although my daughter and I, we are German citizens, so technically we didn't need anything, but we got our residence kind of permit cards anyway. So that was a thing my partner actually needed because he's from the UK and they're not in the EU anymore. So yeah, it was a very stressful time for sure. But it was doable and we did it, and I'm very happy about it. And now it's a thing in the past. So yeah, in June, July 2021, we arrived on 1st of June. And the first 2 months I was still working full-time from a British company, but what I did basically is reducing hours. So I didn't have to work full-time anymore. I could take a lot of holidays and look after my daughter. So the first 2 months were actually quite nice. It was summertime in Sweden. We went to a lot of different lakes or beaches. Weather-wise, it was really the perfect time to arrive. Bureaucracy-wise, not so much, which I also talked in other videos about. But you know, there's always kind of advantages and disadvantages at certain times when you arrive. But also these 2 months meant a lot of getting things done, bureaucratic things, mainly taking care of our Personnummer, so trying to apply, then also trying to find a kindergarten spot, which also I have another video about that if you're interested. And then obviously finding a rental property, because we had to move somewhere a bit more permanently to settle into Sweden. So as you maybe know, we found a house, which I'm in here right now. It was quite quick, I would say, but if you follow me, you know that this is a very expensive rental property, so nothing we want to do forever really. But we were still happy to have found this house and to move in on 1st of August, so just 2 months after we moved to Sweden. But yeah, for us it was also a big change because it's a really big house, a big garden right next to the sea and lots of nature around us. So it was quite a difference to London, where we used to live. That was more in the city, you know, it was a flat, although we had a little garden, which was nice. It was so much smaller, So it really helped us to feel very happy in our first month, maybe year now, to accommodate ourselves to the Swedish culture and to Swedish life. In all of this also, I have to say, my daughter was absolutely brilliant. I think she was about 2 years and 9 months old when we moved, so almost 3 years old, but she has taken everything with so much curiosity and really happiness that we didn't have any struggle with her, to be honest. She was just very open to everything and was very excited to explore Stockholm with us. And then in August, September 2021, we finally felt like we could settle down a little bit. We found a wonderful kindergarten for my daughter so she could return to, socializing with other kids and also start learning Swedish. And I returned to my full-time job and was working from home, and also the bureaucratic stuff was pretty much solved. So, it was just a kind of a big relief that we finally arrived and could settle down in Sweden and in our new home. And yeah, I also started my new business, at least starting the process of registering the new business. Oh, and I forgot, obviously, we're also pregnant. So I think it was June, July, we found out we were pregnant. So that was another thing we were very excited about, and just fits into our new life here in Sweden. And then the last 3 months, October, November, December, I think the biggest change was a bit the weather. So it was the first time we experienced quite a cold winter. I think the craziest temperature we had was minus 15 degrees Celsius. And that was definitely such an experience for us. It was quite exciting. We only had really positive feelings about it. We kind of really tried to prepare ourselves for a colder weather. But when it happens, you know exactly how you feel. But we all felt very excited, and especially when it was snowing, it was just very beautiful. So that was a very positive experience we had with the cold weather, first time here in Sweden. And yeah, just in general, I feel the weather hasn't been very good to us. I know it has been dark quite early. At the moment, it's still around 3 p.m., which is definitely quite early, but it still hasn't bothered me that much. Maybe also, if you can see a little bit in the background, the weather is really nice again. So most days, or at least that's my impression since we arrived, and especially now in October, November, December, during the day the sun is out most days, which I think brings you really joy. And then, it's dark, but you just cozy up at home and have all these nice fairy lights and candles on. But I also have to say it was Christmas time, so that obviously added up to more excitement, and I wasn't personally bothered by the darkness. We will see how it goes now in January, February, maybe March. I heard it's kind of the most difficult month because you just don't really have anything to look forward to apart from the spring, I guess. So you just want the dark times to be over. But then, look outside. It looks so nice. You can just really spend a little bit of time outside. It has snowed again yesterday, so it's actually a quite nice time to spend outside during the day. But yeah, I really enjoyed Christmas time here. The runner up to Christmas, really. It started a little bit earlier here in Sweden. People started to decorate already in November, which is, I personally really like that. And then we had December, and we did spend Christmas in Germany because I haven't seen my family for like about a year. But we could enjoy the Christmas time here, and whilst in Germany there was literally nothing because of the pandemic. No Christmas markets, lots of restrictions, no events or anything. So we just stayed at my parents' house. And here in Sweden, I was very grateful that we could explore and experience Christmas markets here. I absolutely loved it. So I had a really, really great time in November and December. And there was also so much to explore. So you can watch some of my other videos where I tried some Christmassy food. And I also experienced Jewel Board and Lucia, 2 traditions here in Sweden. So if you want to check that out, feel free to watch my other video. So yeah, by the end of last year, I felt everything was kind of sorted. You know, we had our Personnummer, we had a kindergarten for my daughter, which she adapted to very, very well. And she is speaking Swedish so much. When we visited my parents, all she did at the beginning was talking in Swedish, so no one could understand. It's a very interesting experience. But then she started to speak more German, so that was easier for us. I started my business, which was also great, and now I also sorted my maternity leave, so I can go on maternity leave very soon with ease. So I feel very, very happy. It was maybe a little bit of a stressful year in the middle of the year, beginning of the year. And then obviously also when we moved here with all the bureaucratic stuff and, you know, and everything is new, you really have to adapt. As much as you enjoy the new things you can explore, it can be also a bit stressful. But by the end of the year, I felt quite relaxed and quite happy. And, you know, we arrived in Sweden and we are very excited about this year. You can watch my last video about our plans in 2022. So it's going to be an exciting year in Sweden. So thank you so much for following my journey and also giving me so many great tips and recommendations in the comments every time I post a video. It helps me, but also others who watch this video. So thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day and stay safe. Hej då!